Hello everybody, it's Foxy speaking, and this is the most recommended YouTubers for 2024, the first episode. I launched this, it was almost like an impromptu series. Back in 2023 I started it. I have a playlist folder which I'll link in the very description of the video itself, for those of you who are interested in seeing it. Yes, but it was before, back in 2023, it was the most recommended YouTubers for 2023, but now the most recommended YouTubers who I personally believe should be the most recommended YouTubers. This is its first episode for 2024, and it is the most recommended YouTubers episode 1, 2024, that is not 2023. The first YouTuber I should be representing is Graham Hesketh, the Baron Hesketh. And Graham Hesketh himself, he deserves to be the most recommended YouTuber for 2024. I certainly personally believe so indeed, And I'm now so happy to have found out about Graham, and well, in a way, he found out about my content back in May of 2023. He came over to it, and initially there was disappointment because of the video I had made. But I understood his disappointment, because not every video can please everybody. But I said, I'm so sorry about it. I apologised and explained I could always do things to work on it and make things better. Then we conversed. We happily conversed. I mean, nothing serious happened, rest assured, because Graham's a very friendly, nice guy, rest assured. We had a conversed conversation. He spoke to me about Fiona, and then he spoke to me a bit about himself and about his time in Brighton, and when he, Fiona, and their children lived in Brighton, before subsequently moving over to Gibraltar, that is. And we had some very, very deeply interesting conversations together, and then after a great few moments of having some friendly conversed conversations together, he subscribed to my content. And it was about a week or so later I ended up hearing from him again, and began hearing from him on a fairly, not regular, but I heard from him at least every week from May 2023 onwards. And and he was always, not only was he so friendly to me and always very nice and friendly to me, whenever I hear from him, is he always so friendly and so nice and friendly towards me. He really takes me under his wing quite a great deal. And he's extremely supportive towards me, and I always knew I would encounter supportive fans, but this one who follows me, being Graham, that is, he's someone who's not only just friendly and enormously supportive, he really, he takes me under his wing quite a great deal, and until that point, I never really experienced that with people who follow me. I mean, well, David Scott to some extent. I mean, he takes me under his wing since I possessed the interest in vintage classic cars and vintage rally events and all the rest of things. And Dave Bryan, he does take me under his wing a little, because we both share the same possessive interest of classic cars, that is. So, but Graham, oh my goodness. He really, and Fiona too, and since Fiona found out about me, because Fiona didn't know of me, here's the confession to make. Graham knew of me first back in May of 2023, but here's something else. I did not go over to his content. I mean, I didn't visibly show any comments on a live stream or video of his until September 2023. And that is when Fiona found out about me. And once finding out about me, oh my goodness, I ended up receiving an enormously generous amount of support from lovely Fiona. She was enormously supportive towards me and really sent me some very nice compliments towards me regarding the content I make and the personality I have. And then after that, she began representing my content. And then after representing my content, well, not just Fiona, but Graham too, it was in the middle and the latter part of that September live stream, Graham represented my content about once, twice, or maybe 3 times. I'm trying to remember how many. You know, I can't just watch the video while representing the video here. You know, probably wouldn't go too right. But he represented my content at least twice, I would say, you know, and I was not expecting him to do that. I really wasn't. So, in a way, I'm extremely thankful Graham did, because I really didn't expect him to do that, you know, because nobody who was on the live stream knew of my content, but until Graham spoke of it, and then when Fiona began representing it, swathes and floods of Graham and Fiona's long-following fans, or followers, friends and followers that is, just began flooding over to my content, and my subscription numbers just went flying over the roof. My watch time went flying over the roof. The viewership went flying over the roof, you know, and I ended up receiving a great many comments, you know, and things were just going up and up and up, popularity, and oh my god, I was like, oh my goodness, because at the time when I did the live stream, when I watched the live stream, that is, I didn't make an appearance on it, it was on board their Starlink boat in Gibraltar, you know. I had just reached the 2k subscriber milestone, and then within a few short days later, I surpassed the 2.1k subscriber milestone, and then within days later, it went to 2.75 plus k, and then it was momentarily 2.8k subscribers, and then it went down on a slight decline, and then it picked up again by October to 2.8k, and then before long it was 2.85k, 2.9k, 2.95k, and now we're at just over 2.97k as of now, you know. And it was at the Gibraltar celebration day when they were doing the live stream, and when I was on, Graham was like, oh, Foxy's channel had shot right, and I was like, well, yes, that's right, Graham, it really, much to my surprise, just shot right up, you know. So I thank you and Fiona tremendously for, not only for you, Graham, for your friendliness towards me, but for being enormously supportive towards me and taking me under your wing every time I'm hearing from you. You know, really, it's valuable. You're enormously supportive in nature towards me, and friendliness towards me is enormously valuable, and certainly am I hugely appreciative of it. No, really, I'm hugely appreciating of it, and I really do not take our friendship for granted. I really very much appreciate the friendship I now have with yourself and Fiona. I mean, had you not came over to my content, I may never have came over to the live stream, and may never have made so many wonderful new friends. And now here's another great big thing I need to share regarding why I truly believe Graham's, well, certainly Graham and Fiona, but Graham's content and Fiona's content should be most recommended for 2024. Since that very live stream I stumbled across towards, it has led to a transformational life change with a positive side effect to go with it towards me. No, really, it really did totally change a lot of things for me. A big almost a huge transformational change, Jenny. I mean, maybe it's slightly said in a figure of speech, but it really did change a lot of things for me. And in a way, it also, since watching the content and just, oh my goodness, you know, it really was a large transformational change since going on to that live stream, you know, because I made loads of wonderful new friends. Because had I gone on somebody's live stream before, I would have only just socialised and just spoken to the person hosting it, I wouldn't have socialised with other people watching, who were viewing the live stream at the time I would have been viewing it. But before long, I began socialising with one person. That, for the first time I watched their live stream, my first time watching a live stream, I began socialising with, certainly Graham and Fiona, of course, it's the point of socialising with them and others, as is the point of any live stream, socialising with the person hosting the live stream, the YouTuber hosting the live stream, and as well as socialising with other people who have partaken with them watching and viewing the live stream itself. It became one person, before long I began socialising with almost everybody on that live stream. Well, maybe not quite everybody, but certainly a very great many people on the live stream. I mean, and since after that live stream, whenever chance allowed for me, I just got thrown into viewing Graham and Fiona's content, and I got thrown into going onto a live stream, if I could make it, that was, and say hello, not only to just Graham and Fiona, but saying hello to everybody, you know. And it changed me quite considerably in that way, you know, and because of all the wonderful new friends I made. Since encountering Graham and Fiona, I've had the privileged fortune of befriending hundreds and hundreds of new friends, but there are so many notable friends. Had I not encountered Graham and Fiona, I would never have made friends with 11 notable friends of mine from Graham and Fiona's content I befriended from. And those 11 wonderful friends are 5 of whom I'm greatly entrusting of, and 6 of whom I'm greatly trusting of. The 5 I'm greatly entrusting of are Tony Stark, Mary Ipock, Sandra Parrott, Mrs. Murphy, and Tudor Rosie. And the 6 I'm greatly trusting towards are none other than that of Susan Reich, Michelle Pope, Elaine Williams, Caroline Allen, Rosie's Cottage, and Catherine T. You know, and also I've had the privilege of making other wonderful friends like that of Karen and Laurie French, Lindsay Cuddy, and Sophie Ray, who's my dear little wombat. No, I don't know if she's little or not, because I don't know whether she's tall or short in height. I don't know that as of yet. Sophie Ray, because I personally know a Sophie, and she's my dear little wombat, my wonderful friend Sophie. Well, she's not a wombat, but I like to think of her as a dear little wombat, you know, because she's a lovely, lovely lady. A very, very lovely little lady, Sophie is. Well, she's not that little, she's only 5'4", which is shorter than that of myself, as I'm 5'8" in height, and it's shorter than Graham's 5'9.5" height, believe this or not. So, yes, and shorter than that of Fiona's 5'6", so she's not really little, but I like to regard her as a dear little wombat. I don't say it to her, because I don't want her to be offended. But I only mean it in an affectionately friendly way when I said that my personal friend Sophie is my dear little wombat. You know, and my friend Sophie Ray, my newer friend, is a dear wombat to me. She really is. But I don't mean this rudely or in an offensive way. I mean it in a completely inoffensive and affectionately friendly way. You know, and I've also had the privileged fortune, you know, there's also lovely Lisa, Deborah Coleman, and who else is there? Lovely Jodie, and Rhea Snakesmere, Marcia Toms, you know, such wonderful, wonderful dear friends, and who else is there am I missing out? Karen McCarthy, not Karen, but Karen McCarthy, Caroline Capel, I think it's Caroline Capel, Maureen Howard, you know, Christine, I think it's Christine Sikus or Suckos, I don't know, and Daisy, lovely Daisy, Suzanne. Oh, so many, many wonderful friends. Don't get me wrong, I love all of my wonderful new friends from Graham and Fiona's content, and I'm certainly trusting towards them, towards all my friends, even if I'm not greatly entrusting or greatly trusting of all of them, I will always be trusting towards all of my friends from Graham and I'll be trusting to all of my friends who I'm not greatly entrusting or greatly trusting of towards those friends of mine from Graham and Fiona's content, in the same way I'm trusting with my other friends from outside of Graham and Fiona's content in various different bits and pieces, just to say, rest assured on that matter, you know. But one of the greatest things, one of the greatest transformational life change since encountering Graham and Fiona has had on me is it has taught me not to be shy to love your friends. I don't mean romantically love your friends or loving your friends in the way you love your family or romantically loving them, but it taught me to love them. It really sort of self-taught me to love not only my new friends, but my friends in general, you know, because I would never have said to any good friend of mine or any new friend of mine that I love them. It's only really since encountering Graham and Fiona that I've never shied away from saying I love you to some of my new friends. Though there are some who I absolutely love, particularly Tony and Mary and Sandra, Mrs. Murphy and Rosie, the two Rosies in fact, you know. A Rosie I'm greatly entrusting of and a Rosie I'm greatly trusting of. I love them both, you know. I really absolutely love them, you know. I will always love all my friends who I'm greatly entrusting of, being that of Tony, Mary, Sandra, Mrs. Murphy and Rosie, and I'll certainly always love the friends I'm greatly trusting of, being that of Susan, Michelle, Elaine, Caroline, Rosie and Catherine, you know. And Catherine reminds me of my friend Kat, you know, because she has quite a similar level of friendly, fantastic courtesy in a comparable way to what my friend Kat has possessed in her personality, you know, in a good way, you know. She's always the friendly and courteous lady, Catherine is within Graham and Fiona's content, but the courteous Cat I'm referring to is the courteous lady Cat from America, who I've befriended since encountering Dave and Sally Abel, just to say. That is in that very case, you know. You know, and I'll always love Catherine, if you're watching, and I'll certainly always value your friendly, fantastic courtesy you provide not only to myself whenever I say hello to you, but the friendly, fantastic courtesy you provide to everybody else within Graham and Fiona's content. That is, you know. You know. But there's one of my friends I did need to point out or say, I don't know if she's going to watch this or not, but I'll have to find out, but never mind if not, because we can always say hello another time Graham and Fiona are live streaming, and if she makes it to the live stream, but never mind if she does not, because not all of us can make the live stream at times, because, you know, we do have other things going on in our personal lives, as is the general life case of all people in the world. Ouch, ouch, you know. So, yes, and all that. And but it's Michelle Pope I'm referring to. There are quite a few Michelle. I've befriended about 2 Michelles, you know. And I'm trying to remember what the other Michelle is. If I get my snot telephone up, I might just about be able to quickly remember. But I'm going to make it as quickly as I can. Because it's the Michelle Pope I remember better than the other Michelle, but I do know of her very, very much. Just going to be very, very quick, very, 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 very quick, indeed. Did all that. Just got to go as quickly as I can to find out, because I'd inadvertently forgotten, and I really generally remember most people well. I don't usually forget so easily, but I'm slowly starting to forget a little easily. Oh dear, sign of old age. Old age, I'm afraid. Old age, oh dear. Sinister side effect of old age. Not terribly fun. I'm just trying to go as quickly as I can. I'm so sorry for holding you up. Things. Ah, there we are. I found her. Yes, that's it. A lovely Michelle, that is. I think she's originally from Lancashire, but I don't think she's based over there. But she's also nice. But the Michelle Pope, that's the other Michelle, who I'm greatly trusting of. Oh, I love Michelle. From my heart, absolutely love her as a dearly close friend. I really do. She said something once to me that I will certainly cherish heartily in a lifetime. I ended up saying hello to her on a video via the comment, and I was a little worried. I was an obstructive irritation towards her because I was worried I was a disturbance to her when I was saying hello to her and all the rest of things. And oh my goodness, what she said to me, luckily I wasn't, but I was worried I was. And she said something so lovely towards me. She said, "You are the epitome of a gentleman." And I remembered and honestly that it was visibly moving. It was visibly and emotionally moving when hearing this from Michelle herself, as I never would have thought anybody would ever say that to me. I've had people say to me that I'm quite gentleman-like, but for somebody to go as far as saying that I'm the epitome of a gentleman, I could never have expected this in a lifetime. And it truly meant a lot to me when she said that to me. And I remember some live streams later, at a later point with certain live streams later, and I saw her on the live stream. I actually ended up thanking her enormously, in full thanking gratitude for when she said that to me. And she was like, I mean what I said. Gentlemen like you are few and far between. She said that to me, and that was again visibly and emotionally moving when she said that to me. I never could have thought she would consider something like that. I really never would have thought she'd consider something like that about me, and it means a lot, But you, Michelle, if you do happen to be watching, you represent the epitome of a loving friend who is enormously endearing and exceptionally kind. And I will always love you. I will always be greatly trusting of you. And I will certainly always be thinking fondly of you, even though we may not communicate regularly together or have conversed conversations regularly together. I still always have you very, very much in my thoughts, and I think very much of you fairly often as a close friend, but not badly or anything. Only thinking of you as a close friend. I mean, as anybody would think of their close friends and family, relatives, quite often, just to say. And even all my friends outside of Graham and Fiona's content, as well as my family, I think very, very much of them every day. I really do. And same with lovely Tony. When I was talking to her about something, and I felt a little sorry for her over something. I won't say what it was because it's personal to her. And I really just wanted to sympathise with empathy as much as I could to her. But I was hoping I wasn't doing it too much. But I tried to do it in a varied and reasonably proportionate way. But I think I was worried I overdid it, despite not saying anything. But she ended up saying to me, you are a beautiful person towards me. And I was not expecting that. That sort of got me a little. I nearly cried when I saw that. No, really, I nearly cried because nobody ever has. Always people have said I'm always very, very kind. I've always got that. But nobody has ever gone as far as saying that I'm beautiful towards me. And some of the new friends, when they came over to my content, after eventually finding out about it and tracking down my content, I'm trying to remember who said I was adorable. I know Fiona once said I was adorable, and I wasn't expecting that. Oh my goodness. But don't get me wrong, I appreciated it. I very much appreciated lovely Tony's compliments towards me and what she had to say towards me. And certainly when Fiona said that I was adorable, and I was not expecting that, just to say. And other wonderful new friends include that of lovely Carol Casey, Carol Tapia, Leslie MacDougall, Maggie P, that is, from Delaware. So many wonderful, wonderful, wonderful new friends of mine from Graham and Fiona's content. So many, I don't think I'll be able to list all of them, otherwise I'll make the video far too long. And then sometime after the first live stream I had ever seen of Graham and Fiona's going live real time before it stopped live streaming and is now on replay form. Eventually, I think it was either Graham, Fiona, or both Graham and Fiona ended up informing of my content to Trevor Colt. And then before long, Trevor Colt ended up representing my content, and we've been firm friends ever since. So since encountering Graham and Fiona, a second transformational life change I've had is having the privileged fortune of encountering Trevor Colt's content and befriending quite a lot of, or very many of, Trevor's friends who follow him, friends and followers who follow him and all that, And in the third transformational change, was not only finding out about Trevor Colt via Graham and Fiona, but then in a slight precursor way, if you like, it was really via Trevor Colt finding out about the Fitness Hutch group, being that of Hutchie and Mel from the Fitness Hutch group. So there have been, in a way, 2, if not 3, big transformational life changes for me since encountering Graham and Fiona, with an enormously positive side effect to have gone towards it, you know, just to say. And I really feel, and I always, Graham and Fiona, particularly you, Graham, and certainly Fiona as well, you will always have my support in every way possible since encountering you. Not only am I extremely thankful and grateful enormously towards you from the bottom of my heart for everything you've done for me, but also for the wonderful content you two provide, and also with all the friends, all your friends you've had the privileged fortune of befriending who came over to your content, that is. I've had the privileged fortune of befriending them too, and the privilege of fortune to absolutely love them and absolutely and be, you know, greatly trusting towards some, and, you know, trusting even if I'm not greatly entrusting or greatly trusting of them, you know. And also, not only is there a lot of wondrous, is it so wondrous and enormously enchanting being within your contents, watching it whatever content you two have provided, Graham and Fiona, but the depth of friendly chemistry amongst not only yourself and Fiona, but the friendly chemistry amongst a lot of the new friends I've made within your content. There's just so much friendly chemistry, certainly within a live streaming, whenever you're live streaming, there's a lot of friendly chemistry with all the people who take part watching and viewing it in real time when it's happening, but also the friendly chemistry from both yourself and Fiona. And it was Tony, Graham and Fiona, if you're listening, it was Tony who once said to me that you two have this way of being able to create lasting bonds and lasting friendships with other people, to the point where even if it's been a short time since befriending somebody, it feels like we've been friends for a very, very long time, over a great many years, you know. If I want, of course I might share that. And that really, I truly, and I was in total agreement with Tony about this, I really was indeed, you know. I must say. So I want to thank you both, you know, and I truly believe, once again, if I may say, I truly believe that you two, or Graham certainly, and certainly Fiona, well, both of you, plurally speaking, that you both deserve to be the most recommended of YouTubers for 2023, and you deserve to be the first one represented, you know. So, Graham and Fiona's content I just thoroughly recommend. And Graham's done very well with subscriber-wise, having amassed more than 8.5 subscribers. But Fiona's channel, on the other hand, has amassed more than 26k subscribers, on an astonishing note for both of them. But personally, I believe they deserve 50k subscribers at least, both of them. 50, 55, 60k subscribers at least, I believe they deserve. Most certainly indeed. You know. But thanks everybody indeed for watching, you know. And one more reason why I truly believe Graham and Fiona's content deserves representation, you know. It's not just that whenever they're live streaming, that's always the best parts, but whenever they've got a special video for us in store, they're always good. It has got some specially excellent perfections within the content they provide, be it a live streaming session, or a videography, or videography side of stuff. It's tremendously brilliant and excellent. Thank you, Graham and Fiona, for everything. Both of you, I'll always be greatly entrusting towards both of you, and I'll always love the two of you, and you will always have a good friendship in my very heart. I do think often of you two, and fondly, and I certainly think fondly of you both, and I'm definitely looking forward to the time when we will happily meet in the future. And hopefully if my best friend David Scott is up for it, I would love to introduce him to both of you, as I think you would very much like him as well. I really do think you'd very much like David Scott, and I certainly do believe Trevor Colt would very much like David Scott as well. Thanks everybody for watching, and with the first episode of the most recommended YouTubers for 2024, Graham the Baron Hesketh, but also Fiona too. And please, please, please subscribe to Graham's channel, everybody. The link to his channel will be found in the description below. And I certainly will do Fiona's representation, certainly before February of 2024. Thanks everybody, indeed, for watching, and I shall certainly see you in the very next video. Ta-ta, another time. From Foxy. I hope you both enjoyed watching this, Graham and Fiona. And please do let me know what your thoughts were on this in the comments down below. Rest assured, Fiona, I will do your representation, but I will also link your channel too, as there will be a link to your channel as well in the description below as well. And at some point this year, there will be a big representation within the most recommended YouTubers series, but I'm not going to say who will be nominated or who it's going to be, because it's a surprise. It's going to be an extraordinarily huge surprise. Thanks Graham and Fiona for watching, and thanks everybody for watching, and certainly thanks to all if any of you from Graham and Fiona's content have been watching too. Ta-ta, another time. From Foxy.